Yeah.
Hello, everyone. Imagine being told to move to the back of the bus because the color of your skin. Miss Rosa Parks gives a great example on how to stand up for yourself and how to stand your ground when you know the right thing to do. After lots of research and review, I now have the opportunity to have a glimpse of her life that I will be sharing with you today. Rosa Parks was a wonderful example of braveness and inspiration not only to me, but for other men and women around the world. In the 19th century, Jim Crow laws were established. Jim Crow laws were set in place and passed by legislatures in the southern states. During that time, slavery had been abolished, but many of the white Americans believed that non-white Americans shouldn't be allowed the same rights or benefits as them. Therefore, in 1883, the white supremacist judgment began to strike down the foundations of the Civil War Reconstruction, declaring that the Civil Rights Act of 1875 was unconstitutional. So in 1896, the principle separate but equal became legal. An example of separate but equal meant that we can have our black schools, but we also have our white schools. We can't drink in the same water fountains. You can't have the same bathrooms. But as long as you have the same amount as the white Americans, it was okay. Rosa Parks played a major role in the civil rights movement that began in 1950s. Rosa Parks is an African-American woman. She was a seamstress, and she was an average, hard-working American. On that special day, December 1st, 1955, Rosa had been at work all day long. She had been standing on her feet, and I was trying to think and imagine. Back then, a lot of women, they wore skirts or dresses. I'm pretty sure she didn't wear tennis shoes, so she had been on her feet, probably in some heels, small heels, at work all day long. She had to walk a few blocks to the actual bus stop. She finally got on the bus, and on the bus, if you were a black African American, you could sit in the middle or you could sit in the back. Well, she went and found her seat in the middle, so she was in her designated spot. They drove up about 3 blocks, and on the third stop, a few white passengers got on the bus, and everyone got a seat except for one man. He went directly to her and asked her to move, and she just looked at him. And so the bus driver asked her to move, and she said, "I will not." And a quote that I got from Kenneth C. Davis, which is the author of the best-selling Don't Know Much About Rosa Parks. He was also in the New York Times. He has 4 million printed copies written. That was just established in June 2011. He quotes that she says, I'm just, what was going through her mind at the time is, "I'm tired, I've been at work all day, I'm not getting off this seat. I've already been sitting here 3 blocks and he wants me to move." So she ended up getting arrested. After that, it sparked a formation of the Montgomery Improvement Association, which was led by Dr. Martin Luther King, Jr. The association started a boycott that lasted 382 days, and it brought attention around the world. At last, the Supreme Court decided that to end the racial segregation on the public transportation. After the boycott, there were some major changes. President Johnson signed the Civil Rights Act in 1964, which prohibited discrimination because of color, race, religion, or national region. And in 1968, he also signed another Civil Rights Act, which pertained to the discrimination of African Americans for rental homes, sales, or leasing. Finally, after 13 years of marching, practicing nonviolence, the Civil Rights Movement ended in 1968. As you can see, Rosa Parks has certainly earned the title of the mother of the Civil Rights Movement. Rosa Parks was a wonderful example of braveness and inspiration not only to me, but men and women around the world. Being an 80s baby and seeing how things are in America, I will never be able to fully understand how African Americans felt or went through, or the things that they went through. However, I am so glad for all the things that they had did for us. The people whose lives were lost, the heartaches and pains that they struggled through. So now that our children and our children's children are free because of a hero like Rosa Parks.